Present, Tim Stinson, Kevin Barden, Richard Coombs, myself, Frank Duggan. First on the list, we will do an informal hearing, 25 Demon Ave. The Curve Donetto?
Yes, correct. That's the house right here,
Mm-hmm.
and showing up. I'm trying to clear like a half acre around the house on that area here.
Okay.
That's the house right here.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to know what I need to do that.
Okay. Where there's a wetland right here,
Yeah. Trying the house right here. I'm
Yes.
trying to clear on this area here because all this area is already clear.
Yep.
I just want to try and do around here.
There.
I have to be 100 feet off that, right?
You have to, anything within 100 foot of a wetland,
Yeah.
you have to file a notice of intent with the board.
Okay.
So you would, what's your intention?
Over there, I just want to clear this here because in the future, this right here is Queens Avenue. In the future, is under the right now engineer everything, try to build a road to build some house in this corner here, the back here. But now is existing house right here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna try to clear a little bit the yard right here.
Okay.
Well, how far I have to be from the wetland? I know it's 100 feet, but what if I more than that, 150 or 200?
Okay, well, the first thing that you'd have to do, because this is not a delineated plan,
Okay.
okay?
Yeah.
You have to have someone come in and delineate the wetland
Okay.
on the property, okay? And then, once it's delineated, then you'd have to bring a plan to us showing that you're outside of the 100-foot buffer. And if you are, then you can continue with your work.
Okay.
If anything comes within 100 feet, then depending upon what the work is, you'd either have to file a request for determination or a notice of intent,
Okay.
one or the other, so.
All right.
The first step would be to, and not only here, but if there's anything on, within 100 feet.
Yeah, I think the wetland is just on this side here. This is all dry here.
It is.
Yeah, that's all dry.
Here.
Yeah, it's up all right here. This is about 3 acres. I think that's the
Now, where's the bank going in?
bank can go in those 2 spots right here.
Okay, so this is a stream that comes down
I think it's going
through here somewhere.
right here. I think
No,
it's
it comes
no,
from this,
From
from
this-
Linwood down,
Linwood this way.
and then it
Alright.
crosses. So
Right.
Yeah.
not only here, but if there's anything here within 100 feet of the property line here, that also would impact
Okay,
whatever you're
okay,
doing
what
on
you do,
yours,
alright. Yeah.
So I would have a botanist or someone go out and flag it, and then,
Because I'm gonna have a surveyor. He's gonna come and do the whole thing.
yeah,
Because that's is on the try to do right now because it's from Queens Avenue. It's right. It's no wetland here. That's what we're showing you about that.
yeah, so
I mean,
so
nothing-
before he might come out and survey it,
Yeah.
but you're gonna have to have someone flag it, so,
Yes,
and then he'll put that on his plan.
Okay.
So once that's on the plan, then you can bring that to us, and then we can discuss it further at that point.
Okay, sounds good.
But until then, you can't really do any work until we know
all right.
where the boundaries
Alright,
are.
only thing I did right now was a tree right next to the house. It was falling down. I take that
Yep.
down. Was the only one I took down.
Yep,
Yeah.
okay,
All right.
all right,
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
thank you.
Okay.
Do we have anyone here for 3 Massesso Drive? Nobody here for 3 Massesso. Mr. McGinnis is not here for 2 Phillips Road, so we have a motion to continue that to the next meeting. July 18th,
2 Phillips.
2 Phillips, yeah.
Okay, I make a motion that we continue the hearing on the enforcement order at 2 Phillips Road to July, what is it?
18th.
18th.
Motion made, second, all in favor? That's unanimous. Okay. Moving on, we're going to an enforcement order for Mr. Sidharth. I don't know if the board's aware, we issued an enforcement order on Mr. Sidharth. There was some machine work being done on the property. Removal of tires and debris and whatnot from the property.
So I have some pictures.
Which property?
This is Weymouth Street.
Well, we were just talking
Yes.
about condominium?
Yep.
Okay. That's where the tires come from. Yeah, I don't find Sure.
So most of the tires, they were already in the property. I should say 90% they were out of the buffer zone. And we not know, it's all hand picked, and it is all kept in one place to be transported out. And this thing was every location the picture has been taken. And then these the tires are from the many years already been on the locations. And the botanist and I have the
That was a tough one.
so at the moment the tires are under the high tension wire, which electric company wants to be have it easy access.
Yeah. Never keep anything right. It almost looks like a commercial.
Like a fire base.
It's gonna be like a garage or something.
So we put the rope in between and then try to pull it. And
That's nice.
we just use the bobcat to bring it to one location to keep it. And all the tires are in one location at the moment. All
Okay, so. I don't know how well it showed it on that. Okay, that's where they are now. They're right underneath the pole line. So if you're coming down Weymouth Street, you get the stretch of woods and then it's got that wooden pole line.
Yeah, the secondary line. I was
Yeah.
saying.
So that's where they are now.
Okay. Jeez.
I don't know if you can.
Yeah. Damn.
They're right under the pole line now.
Oh, yeah,
He
they
pulled
sure
them
are.
out from the other side, they're under the pole line now. Okay. So. Enforcement order was, sent out.
On the 22nd.
engineers are already working on it, so I'm going to file the notice of intent.
Sent out on the 22nd. I'm assuming received on the 22nd, signed for on the 22nd. On the
Wednesday.
25th, Saturday the 25th, I had to go back out because there was machine work being done on a road that was being put in from Weymouth Street to the pole line. by Mr. Sidharth to try and reclaim the tires from the property, so, I explained to him, there's an enforcement order on the property. There can be no work done on the property until the proper permits are reached, and he has to go through Heritage on this because this is within the resource area of natural heritage, so, that's why he was stopped. Wasn't in any wetlands or anything, but unfortunately, procedurally, he has to go through that process before we can allow him to do any work, so. He's requesting, we have a letter here, that he's requesting, to have the tires removed. He's in the process of filing the notice of intent. They handpicked the tires from the wetlands and pulled them up and removed them with the machine to the pole line. But he's requesting permission from the board to dispose of the tires. It's needed immediately for the access of the electric company for any emergency work. So that's what he's requesting.
Sir, all the tires, they were all handpicked, or they were pulled by the rope or by the chain. The pictures are already here. But yes, I did pick up the tires from all over the lot because they were spread out all over the place. And it is very hard to dispose it off. Nobody likes to take the tires, so we try to make it all at one place so that the company can pick up the tires. So that, and they want, that's the reason we make the access for the trucks or the containers to come in, and they can drop the container so the tires can go inside the container.
Right.
They can pick up.
Okay, but are we clear that there is no more work to be done?
It's clear, so I understand.
Okay.
Sir. No.
I know we have someone here from the town forest.
No, Girl Scouts.
Oh, Girl Scouts. Do you have any input?
I
you'd
do, I
like
have a
to
lot
add?
of questions actually, if you don't
Okay.
mind. One of my questions, just based on what you said, was that the tires were pulled from the wetlands. Earlier you had said that there was no wetland work done, but if the tires were pulled from the wetlands, which is a protected area, I wanted to find out if the committee will be referring any of this to the town or to the Heritage Act regarding the work that was completed. Really, overall, my concerns are coming from the parents of the Girl Scouts. We had planned a whole weekend hike this past weekend, which was totally canceled based on the craziness on Facebook. So a lot of my concerns are being expressed by the parents based off of any damage done to the environment, any animals, any snakes, any nesting, when the girls do go hiking, any snake bites, any nesting issues with I don't even know. Any kind of issues like that while the girls are out in the forest.
Well, this, just so that you're clear on this, this is not part of the town forest.
Okay, I understand, but that
Yeah.
doesn't mean that, you know, it's not like the animals know the boundaries of.
No, I know, I didn't know if you were.
No, I totally get it,
confused. Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah,
So
You didn't go into wetlands.
Sir, excuse me, I did
That's what
not
you
go
did.
to the wetland.
you just said that the tires were pulled from wetlands,
No,
90%.
I did not go to the wetland. Whatever we had closed on the buffer zone, we had the rope and the chain to pull it out.
So you didn't go there, the tires were there, but you pulled them from the wetlands?
No.
What is this?
Were there, you said 90%
Okay,
of, 90% of the tires were out of the buffer zone. That
Were
means
out of-
10% were in.
yeah, the tires that were within the wetland boundaries, they were hand pulling them out or connecting a rope to them and pulling them out.
Okay.
Okay? Just so you know, it is a violation, he's been cited for the violation, okay? And right now, there's a stop work order on, so there's no more work that's going to be done. Other than he's requesting permission to remove the tires.
Okay.
My suggestion to the board is I think we should call Natural Heritage and get their approval before, if we were to grant such a request, so. I think the board would agree that would be the right course of action to take as far as that goes, so. Before we could entertain this request, we
Yeah.
would need some input from Natural Heritage to make sure.
So the electric company was there, their engineers were there,
Mhm.
and they insist that nothing should be built on their easement or nothing should be there on their easement.
Mhm.
In case of emergency, they like to have clear access.
Right.
And they asked me to shift it from one location to another location.
Mhm.
Even then, if it's not moved, they should be clear under this. This just happened yesterday,
Mhm.
and I don't know, somebody driving there because I can see the track marks that somebody did. And especially, it's a private property, I'm not sure how the town forest people have entered in the private property, so.
That's why I explained to her it wasn't part of the town forest, okay?
Wasn't me. I have nothing to do with the town forest,
Yes.
real, other than just using it.
Um,
But I just have a follow-up question on that. Does that mean that the tires were removed, were placed on a property that you don't own? That is owned by the
No, they're
owner
on his
company?
property.
Okay, they just
Well,
have
they're on an
access?
easement right now.
Okay,
They're on the utility easement. They're underneath the high tensions, which is an easement, so.
okay.
He might own the property, but the utility
be
company
used.
has an easement through the property, so.
So will there be any plans by this committee or the town with the action to put it on the easement? A site for that at all? In addition to, he's being cited for acting after he was given a cease. Will he be cited at all for placing the tires on the easement in the first place?
Well, that was what the original enforcement order is for. Any work done on the property, okay, right now, there's a stop work. There is to be no more work done on the property until the proper permits are handed down from planning board, from conservation. There's a process he's gonna have to go through to get the permits to do, build what he wants to build on that property.
Great.
Okay, it's, the
I'm
matter we have at hand right now is the tires that are on the easement. But that's gonna have to wait, like I said, until we contact Heritage and find out from Heritage, okay? If, Natural Heritage gives us the green light and says it's okay for you to remove those tires from there, then the board will take a vote as to whether or not.
Sir, to apply for the Natural Heritage, it may take a while to get the paperwork from them. And by the time, whether the board will allow me to take it out from their easement or take it away?
Not until we contact them.
Okay.
You're still gonna have to go through Natural Heritage.
Yes, and sir, I understand that I'll be filing with them too.
That's right.
But for the time being, these tires, I was looking forward just to take it, there's no more work will be done. This is the only thing just to be taken out, and I will block the area which they go there, which is, I open for the truck area, they should be blocked in again. Where I will put the big rocks and so that nobody will go in.
You're gonna have to wait at least one meeting for us to contact Heritage and make sure that Natural Heritage does not have any issue with you removing those from the property. And then the board will have to vote. We'll have to take a vote as to whether the commission wants to allow you to take them from the
Yeah.
property.
Mhm.
okay?
Nobody wants tires.
So,
I bet you the animals do.
but we have to go through the process, that's, you know, the,
I understand, I realize that, because there was a lot of tires were all over the place, and it has been there from the last, I should say, 60 years, maybe more,
right,
these tires,
yep,
because half of the property which I bought from the town, and the town owns that property,
Mhm.
because I bought it in the auction, and some I bought from Mr. Frank Messina. He owns it from the 1959. And they were there, and the people goes for hunting, and they make their kind of a barrier to sit down and behind, and then to do this for the deer hunting and all these kind of things. And now I have all at one location to
And
be
we didn't
taken
know.
out, and
All
that's the only.
this is like news for us.
right. But unfortunately, we still have to
Yeah.
follow the correct process, and for us, correct process is gonna have to be to contact Natural Heritage and get clearance from them before we take a vote as to whether or not we allow you to go back in there and remove the tires. So,
So what should I do with the electric company now? Because this is they made me very clearly, their engineers were there, and I told him this is the temporary that I'll be just taking out. And their engineer says that no, it should not be at all. And this is the federal regulations. That's the reason they were cutting all the trees all
Mhm.
around to make the passage clear,
right.
and they did.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
they're gonna have to wait 3 weeks,
Okay.
you know? Like I said, as long as we hear back from Heritage, I'll call them directly within the next day or two, and if we can get clearance from them, then the board can take a vote as to whether or not.
So it may take maybe many months to get the clearance from them.
I don't know.
This or that.
Until I talk to Natural Heritage, I'm not sure. No, we're not getting the clearance as far as you building on the property. It's just
Yeah.
as far as you removing the tires from the property. So, that could take a month, it could take 3 months, it could take a day, 3 days, 3
Yeah.
months, I'm not sure, you know? But I will contact them, and once we hear back from them, then you can come in at the next meeting, and if we've heard back from them by then, and if we have, then the board will take a vote as to what will happen with them at that point.
Okay.
All right?
Mhm.
But we're clear, no more work, right?
No more.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We need a motion to continue.
Was there anything else that you wanted to add?
My only request is that, if I can leave my information, I run both Holbrook and Avon, and we have a summer program that happened to be taking place in the Holbrook Town Forest, so we'll find a new location. We're not gonna, I don't think we're gonna, just with the upheaval of the habitat area, not, I mean, who's to guess that a snake bite's not gonna happen anyway, but with the promotion I have with the parents, they're not willing to risk putting the girls in there for the summer. So I would be interested to find out what the results of the review are, to know when we can go back in, that's all. So if it takes in 3 weeks and they say, you know, we found a new population of snakes that's dangerous, or we've unloaded, you know, 1,000 more snakes we weren't expecting, something like that.
Well, snakes have always been there one way or the other.
Yeah, but when you rip them up and move them, you're disturbing it. So, and I have a lot of 5- and 6-year-old girls, more than older girls, so the parents are, you know, they just don't want to risk it. So really, I would just be interested to see what the results on the, animals, snakes, so that I can put the girls back in there.
Okay,
Oh, could we have your name for the record?
Yep, absolutely, sure. I'll give you my card.
Oh, just, oh,
could you state your name?
Sure,
for
of
the
course, Katie Goldrick.
Katie Goldrick? Goldrick?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yep.
Anything else? No? I just need a motion to ratify the enforcement order.
to ratify.
You have to ratify it.
Okay. Make a motion to ratify the enforcement order
Sit
to,
down, sit down.
to those presented to Sidhat in regards to his property off of Weymouth Street in Holbrook.
Second.
Motion made, second, all in favor? Okay, and we're going to continue the, or actually, we're going to 300 Center Street. Yeah, at this point in time, we haven't had any response from 300 Center Street. So, we spoke at the last meeting about issuing an enforcement order on the property for filling in the back. And
Yeah.
they wanted 3 more weeks to either file a notice of intent, or if they had, we were gonna file an enforcement order. So at this point, we need to issue an enforcement order on 300 Center Street for filling in the wetland. So could we get that drawn up and,
What's the wording on it?
it's, I can give you some dates, in between dates of when it was filled through aerial photography, but I can give that to you tomorrow. But it's gonna be basically filling in the wetland. It's a violation of filling in the wetlands. And property differs from the as-built that was issued to the board back when the building was built. Wetland lines have changed there due to filling. So we would need them, which we've asked Chris October, we've asked them for some test borings and to get an accurate wetland line and approximate fill area, so we can seek a course of remediation. So, and that should be served, have Ralph serve that. And I think that's about it, if we have no minutes. Any new business? Old business? We have any motions?
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Motion made, second, all in favor? We're adjourned.